देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदयान्तस्थोऽय भद्राणि विदुनोति सुरेत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भक्ति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 31, Verse 21. तस्मादहं विगत विप्लव उत्तरिष्य आत्मानमासूतमसहृदात्मनैव भूयो यथा व्यसनम् एतद् अनेकरन्ध्रम् मामे भविष्यादुपसादीत विष्णुपाद. Synonyms: Tasmat, therefore, Aham, I, Vigata, ceased, Viklava, agitation, Uttarishye, shall deliver, Atmanam, myself, Asu, quickly, Tamasa, from the darkness, Sigrata Atmana, with friendly intelligence, Eva, indeed, Bhuya, again, Yatha, so that, Vyasana, light, Etat, this, Anekarandram, entering many wombs, Ma, not, may, my, Bhavishya, may occur, Upasadita, placed in my mind, Vishnu Pada, the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada teacher. Translation: Therefore, without being agitated anymore, I shall deliver myself from the darkness of missing with the help of my friend, clear consciousness. Simply by keeping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in my mind, I shall be saved from entering into the wombs of many mothers for repeated birth and death. Purport. The miseries of material existence begin from the very day when the spirit soul takes shelter in the ovum and sperm of the mother and father. They continue after he is born from the womb, and then they are further prolonged. We do not know where the suffering ends. It does not end, however, by one's changing his body. The change of body is taking place at every moment. But that does not mean that we are improving from the fetal condition of life to a more comfortable condition. The best thing, therefore, is to develop Krishna consciousness. Here it is stated, Upasadita Vishnu Pada. This means realization of Krishna consciousness. One who is intelligent by the grace of the Lord and develops Krishna consciousness is successful in his life, because simply by keeping himself in Krishna consciousness, he will be saved from the repetition of birth and death. The child prays that it is better to remain within the womb of darkness and be constantly absorbed in Krishna consciousness than to get out and again fall a victim to the illusory energy. The illusory energy acts within the abdomen as well as outside the abdomen. But the truth is that one should remain Krishna conscious, and then the effect of such a horrible condition cannot act unfavorably upon him. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that one's intelligence is his friend, and the same intelligence can also be his enemy. Here also the same idea is repeated. Suhridatma Naiva, friendly intelligence. Absorption of intelligence in the personal service of Krishna and full consciousness of Krishna always are the path of self-realization and liberation. Without being unnecessarily agitated, if we take to the process of Krishna consciousness by constantly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, the cycle of birth and death can be stopped for good. It may be questioned herein how the child can be fully Krishna conscious within the womb of the mother without any paraphernalia with which to execute Krishna consciousness. It is not necessary to arrange for paraphernalia to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. The child wants to remain within the abdomen of its mother and at the same time wants to become free from the clutches of Maya. One does not need any material arrangement to cultivate Krishna consciousness. One can cultivate Krishna consciousness anywhere and everywhere, provided he can always think of Krishna. The Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, can be chanted even within the abdomen of one's mother. One can chant while sleeping, while working, while imprisoned in the womb, or while outside. This Krishna consciousness cannot be checked in any circumstance. The conclusion of the child's prayer is, let me remain in this condition. Although it is very miserable, it is better not to fall a victim to Maya again by going outside. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Putaya Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Pasha Pradeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I humbly go down and seek blessing from all the assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself, and please forgive me for any shortcomings. I have taken notes from a lecture by His Holiness Romapat Swami Maharaj. In the series of prayers that we saw in last few verses, this is the final prayer by the living entity within the womb. In the previous verses, it is described that the living entity is in very uncomfortable condition, but at the same time is Krishna conscious. Being in uncomfortable condition and Krishna conscious is better than being in a comfortable condition but not Krishna conscious. The danger of becoming victim of Maya is significant, and the cure is Krishna consciousness. Now, the language is interesting in the translation here, where the living entity talks, I shall deliver myself. Sounds like soul can deliver itself with the help of friend clear consciousness. It's not that we can do anything. We can't fall into Maya on our own. Then what to speak of deliverance on our own? The intention of the language here is the willingness from our side to remain Krishna conscious, specifically without being agitated. The important word is Suhrad Atmanaiva, that is, with good intelligence. In this case, it's the natural intelligence of the soul, something like Buddhi Yoga. And Buddhi Yoga comes from Krishna. He is the source of spiritual intelligence. When he sees one is continuously striving to engage in Bhagavad service, he gives intelligence. So it means that with the help of spiritual intelligence given by Krishna, I will be able to control my mind and then I can be delivered. In other words, Krishna is the deliverer. So when the soul indicates that it wants to be with Krishna, Krishna gives spiritual intelligence. Then spiritual intelligence directs the mind, and finally, mind directs the senses. That's the proper order described in Bhagavad Gita. Material nature is set up to keep the living entities captured. With good intelligence, we decide how much we want to be in relation with Krishna. When we press the reject Krishna button, then we are just carried by the material energy. When we press the accept Krishna button, then we are carried by the spiritual energy. If we are in relation with Krishna, we can be happy in any circumstances. It's so simple. It becomes difficult when we are rebellious towards Krishna. All depends on the state of our mind. So we need intelligence to get out of this cycle of birth and death and be with Krishna. By the concluding line in the purport, the soul prays, whatever the situation, however troublesome, let the criterion be to remain Krishna conscious. Even it's difficult, because that will deliver me from the conditional material life. Another term used in the verse is Upasadita Vishnu Pada, that is, lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in mind. Prabhupada refers to it as realization of Krishna consciousness. So in maturity, there is a difference between practicing and realization. Practice is when we regularly do something because that is good for us. Whereas in bhakti process, if we learn to do everything for Krishna, then we can get to the stage of realization. When we practice keeping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in our mind, the false ego pushes it out. When we get absorbed in false ego, then the mood of service disappears and the form of Lord also disappears. The solution is surrendering to Krishna. That's what the spirit soul is doing. He is praying to the personality of Godhead that give me spiritual intelligence, a clear consciousness, so that whether in the womb or out of womb, I won't forget you. By engaging the mind in always remembering Krishna with the potency of bhakti, we can dissolve our false ego. Bhakti has that power. We can't do it, bhakti can do it. All we must do is start a relationship with Krishna lovingly, serve him, then the potency of bhakti will act more strongly. I'll stop here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.